Hello and welcome to PocketGamer.biz's YouTube channel. I'm Jon Jordan and we're doing a special video today. I don't normally do these, but this is like a versus video. So the first game we're looking at in the versus kind of series is Marvel Avengers Alliance 2, and it's the new kind of RPG, it's card battling RPG from Disney, and what we're comparing it with is EA's Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. And the reasons for that comparison will become evident as we go into the video. But basically, I'm not going to go too much into the in-depth kind of metagame of either. We're just going to play a simple mission in each and kind of show the differences, let that become apparent. So here we are, we're about to have a kind of boss fight. So we fought off a whole bunch of minions in Marvel Avengers Alliance 2. And we're going to fight Rhino. It's going to be 4 waves, so we're going to have 3 waves of minions, and then we're going to fight Rhino. Hopefully we'll be successful. So this game came out, we've been playing this, came out on Thursday, so we've been playing it, or I have been playing it for less than a week, so not particularly advanced. I've not spent a lot of time on it yet, but I'm increasingly getting interested in it. So here we go, there are 3 characters, so this is a 3-on-3, that's the maximum you can have, but also we have some characters in reserve. In this case we have 1 character in reserve. So starting off, you see at the top of the screen it's a turn-based battler with a kind of its own time system. So Spider-Woman, what's she going to do? Well, Spider-Woman, this is a game with a lot of buffs and debuffs, so we're going to put a buff there. Obviously there's attacks as well, but we're going to be buffing to increase the next round of attacks we have, so we're going to have to just take some minion damage. So I've not played with this ally before, so let's have a quick look at what Luke Cage is going to do. So he's got a 1 enemy attack, he's going to attack 1 enemy, he's got a looking like he's going to attack an enemy and also do a defense. And also this will be his buff, which will be at himself, and if he's attacked he'll perform a free attack and it will remove any debuffs he gets. Okay, so let's do that one. So it's a bit like he's attracting stuff to himself. So we did a buff on Hawkeye before, now we're going to do a multi-arrow attack which will attack everyone. That was pretty devastating, as you can see, and you can see at the bottom of each character you can see the buffs and debuffs. So the reds are the debuffs and the greens are the buffs, so we can kind of see what's going on there. Let's do Venom Blast. That's only on one character, but the Venom Blast will damage that character over time, that enemy over time. Oh, he took that out, headbutt. That's nasty. So we just do a single attack. That's vulnerable, so he's definitely out because he didn't have much health left. But we know we've got some waves coming in, so this is only the first wave. So some more goons. So what should we do here? So stamina going down. Let's put some fear. That's an area attack on both of them. So that's a bit of a debuff. Let's do his multi-arrow. Okay, so we're taking that down quite nicely. Going to get some attack back, but there's a dodge, and graze means it's not a big hit. And as you can see there, he just did a kind of a counter attack. Do that, get rid of her. So he's quite a heavy duty attack character. Okay, 2 more goons. The goons getting progressively more powerful. So we can see now that actually Spider-Woman doesn't have a lot of options. She only has her buff, so let's buff Hawkeye. He doesn't have any attack option at all, but we can kind of see already on the screen, every time we do something, kind of what's going on. Because it's quite early in the game, I've not played it very long, I'm still very much in the learning phase of learning how to use all this kind of stuff. Okay, they're both vulnerable. Get rid of one of them, I suppose, for this. And you see there it had a class advantage as well, so I did actually choose the kind of my squad as much as I could do to give myself an advantage in terms of, you can't really, it's a bit difficult to see, but you can see at the start of every kind of character's health bar. So Hawkeye has this kind of red explosion, and Spider-Woman has this green spiral, and the other enemy has this kind of like yellow fist, and Luke Cage has a shield. So those are all, there's 5 character classes, and they work in a rock paper scissors kind of thing. So some are better, some have a power over other ones. So you can kind of, not that I have that many characters at the moment. Here comes Rhino, but you can kind of select your squad to make an advantage of that. So here we go. So this will probably take a bit of time. He's intimidated, so that's a debuff. Let's give him a buff. Careful aim. I can think with. Okay, we'll do that as well. Come at me. So we didn't do any attacks, but he's done a similar thing. He's vulnerable to that though, so that's good. But he's got a lot of health. I think we will prevail, but he's got that timer in him as well, so you can see he's kind of like being delayed, I think. Ow, that was pretty big. And he's going to get some back again. Yeah, devastating. He's going to stampede back again as well. Oh no, but that's delayed because he's under the timer, so that was a good debuff we had. Let's do some fear pheromones. That worked well. He's going to stampede again. You start to get the idea that this is a much more kind of tactical kind of game than certainly the competition, and certainly when I started playing it I didn't really realise there's a lot going on behind the scenes. Even though because it's the early stages, you know, it doesn't want you to lose all the time, so it's quite hard to lose. But I'm sure as you get on, and certainly as you get into PvP, player versus player, then that will get pretty heavy duty, I think. So I think Rhino is onto his last legs, hopefully. Ooh. So again, he can't do any other moves other than that basic buff. He's going to give it some back again. Ooh. So hopefully this should be the last one. Yeah, got him. Okay. So there we go. So that was a fairly hard mission, or a more in-depth mission perhaps. So there's an ally request, so we can ask him to be an ally again. We won a bunch of stuff, we won't really go into that, it doesn't really matter because that's not the point of this video. Okay, so that's Alliance Avengers 2. Okay, so quickly go through this. Okay, continue. This is metagame stuff, don't really need any of that. So what we're going to try and do now is, let's see if this works. So let's take that out and let's fire up Galaxy of Heroes. So Galaxy of Heroes from EA, an internal studio at EA, let's think what they're called, Capital Games. It's a much more mature game, or it's not mature, I suppose. It's been out for, where are we? We're in April. It's been out for 6 months now. So gone through some update cycles, been very successful. You would say off the back of the Star Wars film, but not really. It was there was lots of other Star Wars games out there that weren't successful off the back of the Star Wars film. So I'm sure the Star Wars film helped to a degree, but it's a very, very good game in and of itself. So again, not going to go too much in the meta game. Let's just go in and do a battle. So I've gone into the dark side. I prefer to play dark side characters myself. So the one thing here that I really want to focus on is pace. So that game, in the Marvel game, it was pretty slow. I mean, we were doing a lot of decision making was going on there, even if it wasn't always the best decision making. So one thing you can do. So I've played these missions before. You can see I've 3-starred this, and because it's 3-starred, you can see here a 2-starred one is different. I can't sim it. So what does sim mean? So if I press sim here, you can see at the top of the screen I have these sim cards. So I have 589 of them. If I sim it, because I've already played it, I can get the rewards that I would have got by playing it. So the whole point of this sim thing, it's the meta game. It's about taking the rewards by not actually doing anything. I've earned those rewards by 3-starring this already. You can see this, there's the previous level I haven't 3-starred yet, so I have to go back and 3-star that in order to get those rewards, to get that ability to sim. I haven't earned that yet, but once I have earned it, I can't actually keep doing it forever. I don't think. So I'm trying to try and do it. Obviously, I'm kind of winning the same things over and over again. Okay, maybe I could keep doing it forever. Well, it's using up my energy, so that's one thing. There's different. Well, I'm sounding a bit confused. There's a bit different modes and elements to the game, and some of them you can only sim twice. So, but obviously this one I can continue to sim because it's energy gated. So at the end, I'll use up all my energy. But let's actually go and play a mission. So this is one I've not played before, so I will lose, I expect, but let's go in and do a battle anyway. So use up some energy doing this. Again, it's very similar to the Marvel game, so because I've played this game much more, I have a better selection of allies, so we can see different allies that these are people I've played against in PvP, either won or lost against. I'm going to select that, Darth Sidious. I'm playing on the dark side. This is my dark side team. I've got 5 of my characters I've unlocked, and Darth Sidious. And we're going to go into a mission or thing. This is much more, in a sense, a bit more structured. Maybe a bit more structured because I've played it more. So there's always 3 waves of enemies. So it's Darth Sidious, and you can see already it's much kind of simpler. I've only got 2 options. I can do like a simple attack on. I mean, I can move who I'm going to want to attack here. So this is my leader of my squad, Captain. Is it Phaser? Captain Plasma. So there are some debuffs here. So I've got 2 attacks. I've got an area attack on the far right. I've got a single attack on the far left, and I've got basically a buff. So I buffed my team there. Again, on this character, he's only got 2 options. He's got a buff, which I'll do, and an attack. So that Stormtrooper's done a buff. Again, on this one, it's not a buff so much. The middle button here is a heal, but this character, Night Stalker's got a. I'll put her. She's basically got a strong attack, a weak attack. So we'll do a strong attack. That'll probably take that guy out. Oh no, not quite. So this is quite good. So this is Savage Opress. He's a nasty bit of work, but he's got like a kill mode basically. Anyone who's like as wounded as much as this guy is, he's just going to take him out. You can see like massive damage. This guy here is the First Order Star TIE pilot. TIE fighter pilot. First Order TIE fighter pilot. Okay, get it all out. He's got a big attack. Okay, so they're doing their attacks back in. So we kind of get the idea. It's kind of a similar thing to what we saw in the Marvel game, but not as deep. So there's normally most characters will have this. Oh, it's going to be an air attack. It's pointless because there's only one of them there. They have a strong attack and a weak attack. One of which might be an air attack, and some of the more powerful characters have a buff or a heal. But the really thing I'm trying to bring out here is not that this is very simple, but the really important thing is this is a level I've not played before. But what I can just do, I can just press the auto button. Now the auto button is not as good as me, even though I'm not a very good player. You know, the AI is taking over here. But we can see just the speed of what's happening now. It's just like super fast. Hopefully, we'll see how this goes on. But you know, I probably will win this level by the look of it. It depends kind of who I'm fighting, who they've got in the last level. If there's what the kind of, not necessarily the boss, but who the main characters are, we'll see now. But the AI isn't as good as me in terms of it will kind of make some quite random decisions. So actually, these guys are quite hard. They're all boring, but there's quite a lot of them. And you can see actually one of them is more powerful. He's got more health. You can see. But the AI will make a decent job of doing the attacks. But it won't be quite as good as me. But I don't really care because I can just I don't even have to be watching this. I could leave this and I could go make a cup of tea or do whatever I want to do. Go and do my general life and not be worrying about it. And it's going to be pretty fast. Okay, so maybe I'm not going to 3-star this one. It probably looks like I am going to 3-star it. If I lose any of my characters, I will only 2-star it. So the star mechanism, like a lot of these things, depends on kind of your performance. So if I lose one of my characters killed, I can't 3-star it. I have to kill all the other characters, dispose of them, and not lose any of mine. But I'm probably going to do it here. So the AI has done quite well. So, but that was just quick. That was quick. I 3-starred it. I didn't have to do anything at all. And I think that's the big difference between these 2 games. Which is not to say these 2 games should necessarily be compared, but they are both from American developers. They both are in the kind of card collection RPG genres. They are, I mean, this doesn't really matter so much. They are both big IP games. Incidentally, both of the IPs, Marvel and Star Wars, both owned by Disney. So that's kind of interesting. I'm sure for that reason, Disney will have been looking quite closely at this game when they were coming up with their Marvel game, even though the Marvel game is a sequel, so they already had a template for what they were going to do. What point am I trying to get to? Both these games I think are really good. I've played one a lot more than the other, but both of them I think have innovation and good use of IP, and both of them will be top grossing games with strong audiences. I think what will be interesting to see how many people play both. I think the Star Wars game probably maybe has a bit more wider appeal because of the Star Wars. It doesn't have so many generic enemies in the same way. I think it's kind of maybe its character library is a bit deeper, or a bit more appealing, I suppose, to a mass audience. Whereas Marvel, we all know a bit of Marvel stuff. We all know Spider-Man, I suppose. But probably a lot of people, maybe don't know is Superman, is he Marvel or is he DC? Well, obviously he's DC. He's not in that game, but it's a bit more niche, I suppose. But just the pace. The pace is what's really important. The pace, it doesn't matter about the IP or anything like that. Just the pace of these two games is very different. One of them is maybe not so sophisticated. In Star Wars, but you can do it very quickly. You can play a lot of these missions and not even be looking at your phone or your tablet. With the Marvel game, there's no autoplay, so there's just that option's not there. And even if that was there, every mission is more in depth and more complex and longer. So maybe they will appeal to different people. And we'll have to see. I mean, to that degree, the top grossing charts do not lie. We will see in a couple of months' time which one has found the biggest paying audience at least. So thanks for watching. This is the kind of thing we like to do, although I say it's the first time we've compared two games. Just happened to be this comparison seemed to work out quite well. But we do like to analyse free-to-play games. And if you like to hear analysis of free-to-play games, and do subscribe. And thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.